A very good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of Big Talk. Tonight on the program, we take a look at electoral reforms as we ask critical questions. Is it possible in Nigeria for us to be able to have electronic transmission of voting? This discussion has been going on right now in Nigeria. There is mass protest that went on earlier in the day where we saw some opposition figures like people like Peter Obi, Aisha Yusufu, Randy Peters, a lot of other persons, advocates, going to the National Assembly and protesting, saying that they want to see electronic transmission of voting real time as the tally is being put on the IREF, that's the INEC portal for viewing these electoral processes, as the people are saying. So today we saw where the people say we need real-time transmission of results, mandatory, and by the Senate, by INEC as the electoral umpire in Nigeria. And the people are also saying that we are mandating the Senate to go back and look at their electoral processes. The bill that was just passed, the electoral amendments bill, let's look at how we can impute electronic transmission of results as a mandatory component of that particular bill. So we saw civil society organizations, we saw labor unions, we saw youth coalition, political activists, and a lot of other young Nigerians and even older Nigerians, storming and asking the Nigerian government that this is what we want: electronic transmission of results, or what we call e-transmission of results. They say it will bring more credibility to our electoral process. All right. So some of the advocates have even argued that electoral reforms must also include coalition and transmission of results real time. So as voting is being done, let's see who are those that are getting. What are the people voting? As we accredit the person with the beavers, let's have the result on the IREF. This is what the people are saying. But let's, before we bring in our guest for tonight, as we go deeply into this discussion, let's look at what the Nigerian law says. According to the 2022 Electoral Act, already the Nigerian law allows INEC to transmit election results electronically. It's already there in the Nigerian law. The 2022 Electoral Act that was signed into law by late President Muhammadu Buhari, but does not issue real-time transmission. It is not mandatory, but it is in the Nigerian law 2022 Electoral Act, and that is because we've been seeing people say let's amend that after the 2023 general elections, but the Senate of Nigeria rejected a proposal saying that it shouldn't be compulsory because, as it says, there are some places in Nigeria that may not have access to network. So joining us tonight on the program to help as we look at what it means for our democracy and a lot of other things concerning Nigerian democracy, we have Oloyede Abiodun, who is a politician and a PDP member who's joining us from Lagos tonight as we have this discussion. He's also currently a doctorate student at LASU, majoring in finance. He's joining us from Lagos State tonight as we look at Nigeria's political system, electoral reforms, and what it means for us. Can we really do this? Is this what we want at this particular time? My name is Ubong Musara, welcoming you to the program Big Talk tonight. Let's see if we can bring in Oloyede Abiodun into the conversation. A very good evening to you, Honorable.
Good evening, my brother. Good evening, Mr. Obon. Good to have me on your program. Thank you very much.
All right. So, how are you doing, and how is Lagos tonight?
Oh, very well, thank you. Lagos is good. The center of excellence.
We could talk about how excellence is the center of excellence, but let's stay on our conversation for tonight, electoral reforms, and we'll also talk about leadership and your drive towards offering leadership to the people. But are you confident in our electoral process? Let's start from there.
Yeah. In the first place, my name is Honorable Oloyede Mutairu Abiodun. I'm a PDP man to the core. I've contested on the platform of People's Democratic Party in the past, and I'm also a community person, contributing towards development of Fakwaija, local government. So I was born there, I grew up there. So I know where the nail is pinching our legs. And that is the reason why when we talk about electoral reform and the improvement in our electoral system, it's something that we, or me as a person, I know more about it very well. I know about it very well. There is not going to be any meaningful development if there is no proper democracy, if we don't have a democracy that we can call our own, because leaders are only accountable to those who elect them. And the only means of election that we know in Nigeria is the voting system, the electoral system as being practiced today. So if there is anything wrong with that process, then it means that the people that elected those in office are not accountable to them. And when they are not accountable to them, there cannot be meaningful development. They are either accountable to themselves or their pocket or to the people. And they can only be accountable to those who elect them and not otherwise. So the only way that people's mandate, people's voice, people's votes can count is for us to improve on what we have on ground so that we can have a better electoral system and a better Nigeria.
Politician, and for politicians, you want to get into a race and be assured that this particular race will be free and fair. Let's start from there. In your assessment of the Nigerian political terrain, do we operate a free and fair and credible electoral process?
These are two important concepts, the free and the fair. Do we have a free and fair election in the past? No. A free election is where every individual within the society have the right, the freedom to choose among alternatives who he or she wants to govern him or her. And a fair one is when every aspirant have equal opportunity of being elected. And from what I have seen in the past, I don't think we have any of them. Our electoral system, our electoral law is still defective in many areas. Because when you said something very good now. You said that the 2023 electoral law has made provisions for electronic voting system, but we need to ask the operators of the system why they did not use the beavers in the 2023 elections. We need to ask them, why are they using manual in places where beavers can effectively be deployed? So those are some of the reasons. I think until when we are ready to start melting punishment to electoral fraudsters, when Nigerian institutions are working effectively, that is when we'll have a free and fair election. And every election gives us the opportunity to improve on what we have in the past. And that is the reason why people are saying we cannot run an election without electronic transmission this coming election 2027. It's very key. and
Right, so
important.
let's look at what we saw in the 2023 general elections. We saw that, like you said, the 2022, electoral act. It was a bill signed into law by late President Muhammadu Buhari, became electoral act, and it was tested during the 2023 general election. It allows INEC to electronically transmit results, but it was not compulsory, and you cannot say that cannot be a reason why somebody is not declared winner if it was not transmitted at the end of the day. But there are arguments now, right? One of the arguments from some quarters is that Nigeria does not have the technology infrastructure to be able to put on this kind of system to have electronic transmission of our results. Some people are also even scared that some persons could hack into the INEC portal and upload results of people, which is not what may be obtainable on the ground. So two fears: one, we do not have the infrastructure. Let's wait until we're able to have the infrastructure and we try it. There are places we do not have network to date, which is true, because I've been the last time I traveled, I don't want to mention, but traveled from the south to west to check some projects that were being done by one of the governments. Some of the places that we passed, sometimes as long as many kilometers of road, you notice that you do not have cellular networks on your phone. The networks are not there. So that's one of the challenges that these people are pointing out. We do not have the infrastructure. Then number two, some persons may hire mercenaries from maybe outside the country to hack into the system of INEC and upload results that are not what the people voted. So I'd like to hear your view on these two arguments.
There are many ways of validating what was uploaded on the IREF. The last election, 2023 election, we saw a lot of results being uploaded that are authentic. And if you say because you are afraid that something will happen and you refuse to make a change, then what are we talking about? Because this current system is very good for some people. They are using it to rob the people of their vote. That's the reason why they are afraid. If you are doing the right thing, we have the hard copies of these results. If you have anything to complain about, you can present the hard copies. These results, the collation at the collation center, most of the results that they are presenting now, they are different from what they are bringing from the world level. I was on the field in the last election. I saw a lot of discrepancies between what happened in the polling unit and what happened, at the collation center. So I think those people that are afraid of change need to go and work on the people, their electorate. If you are sure that you are good enough on the field, why are you afraid of change? So that is not a good reason. If you say that because if you drive a car, you might have accident, then you will be walking around. Does it make sense? Doesn't.
But the other question, that if we do not have the infrastructure, do we have the infrastructure? Of course,
We have infrastructure because where there are no
in our
infrastructures,
villages, do we have the infrastructure to host such critical assignments of our country on, technology? Do we have the technological infrastructure?
if you talk of technological infrastructure, I have a farm which is inside. It is a very remote village. I want to say that my farm is probably the only house in a kilometer, in a radius of 1 kilometer. And I'm telling you that there is network there. We are making calls and we are receiving calls. So that is just an excuse to jettison the idea of electronic transmission, and it is not unacceptable. And where there are no infrastructure, it is acceptable that they come up with the hard copy. But I'm telling you, even in the city where there are infrastructure, why are they kicking against this electronic transmission? Electronic transmission is an improvement on what we have on ground now. So I don't see any serious minded person that want development in this country that will be against electronic transmission of results. It's a very simple technology, snapping
even
the
the most
results,
advanced
uploading on
countries.
iRef.
Right, I'm coming, doctor. Another argument is that even the most advanced of democracies, and some examples have been cited. The US, for instance, they've been doing democracy for more than 200 years. The British, that's ones we copied from, the colonized us. They're not still using, totally banking on electronic transmission. Are we not going too far?
The fact that America is not doing it, or the British, they are not doing it, doesn't mean that Nigeria cannot be a pacesetter in that area. We can give them a good example. So why are we talking about when they do good things? We always talk about them, but when we want to do better, we say because they are not doing it. It's not a good argument. Let us lay this foundation. The challenges we have in Nigeria is different from what the challenges they have in America. The challenges we have in Nigeria is different from what the kind of challenges they have in UK, in Britain. So why are we comparing ourselves when we have the opportunity of doing better than them?
Institutions now, one of the things that people have criticized is that when on election day, some institutions fail, like the Nigerian police is being mentioned. INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission, as an institution of government, is also being mentioned as one of the institutions that aid the failure. Do you think that we need an institutional overhaul? Some persons have even mentioned that our election seems to be so filled with militarized. People have used the word, our elections are militarized. You see in some places, you see the number of police personnel that are deployed for election duties. You could see 60,000, 30,000 or thereabout. And some persons will ask, are we going into a conflict? Let's balance. When you look at our institutions and how they've been involved in the electoral process over time, what comes to your mind?
Yeah, when you say that our election is being militarized, it depends on the operators of the election, because the area boys are also there to steal the ballot boxes. And when you make it too civil, of course, they are going to come over and take over everything from them. But at the same time, even when the police comes around, they really come with guns, or they don't. I think the Nigerian electoral system, the police on election day are mainly civil. It is the area boys or the thugs that are armed on election day, except when the government want to change the system and they want to put another thing on ground. But I think the election system is still okay. The security system is still okay, even though sometimes we have challenges of the security operatives working in favor of some political parties against another. But I don't see it, our electoral system being militarized. I am a field person. I go on field on election days and I see how things goes. The major problem is there must be proper punishment melted for people that disrupt elections. There are a lot of people that come out to disrupt election because of the civil nature of the police. On that day, they don't allow them to, and some of them maybe they don't want to use excess force. So those people, they take advantage and snatching of ballot boxes and all those kind of things around.
Honorable Oloyede, but let's go for a short break, and when we're back, we'll still interrogate electoral reforms and ask the critical question: is electronic transmission of results possible in Nigeria? We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Decides our economy. Politics shapes our security. Politics defines our future. But who is asking the hard question?
Is intimidating governors to our opposition, and some allegations even say monies are offered to the tune of billions of naira to these governors to come to the APC.
On Big Talk, we take politics beyond party lines and press statements. We interrogate policies, challenge power,
and it shall be addressed,
and demand accountability from those who govern, from the presidency to the National Assembly, from state governments to grassroots politics. We break down the decisions that affect your daily life. No propaganda, no political comfort zone, just facts, context, and fearless conversations. Big Talk is where leaders explain, analysts dissect, and the people understand.
2015 elections were not held. They are doing rigging.
Don't just watch politics, question it. Tune in to Big Talk on Global Television every weekday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join the conversation. Politics decides our economy. Politics shapes our security. Politics defines our future. But who is asking the hard question?
Is intimidating governors to our opposition, and some allegations even say monies are offered to the tune of billions of naira to these governors to come to the APC.
On Big Talk, we take politics beyond party lines and press statements. We interrogate policies, challenge power,
and it shall be addressed,
and demand accountability from those who govern, from the presidency to the National Assembly, from state governments to grassroots politics. We break down the decisions that affect your daily life. No propaganda, no political comfort zone, just facts, context, and fearless conversations. Big Talk is where leaders explain, analysts dissect, and the people understand.
2015 elections were not held. They are doing rigging.
Don't just watch politics, question it. Tune in to Big Talk on Global Television every weekday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join the conversation.
Tonight we're still interrogating if Nigeria is ready for electronic transmission of votes. Earlier today, let's see if we can bring you some pictures now. Earlier today in Abuja, we had some protests. We had protesters going to the National Assembly. We saw people like Peter Obi, he was there. We saw Aisha Yusufu, we saw Randy Peters, and a lot of other young Nigerians who joined the train, civil society groups too, joining and asking that the federal government, especially the Nigerian Senate, should pass the Electoral Act Amendment Bill to include the compulsory transmission of electronic voting of votes, right? A compulsory and mandatory transmission of these votes. When people cast their votes, we should have it transmitted at the time and used as a legal document that can be, tendered before a court of competent jurisdiction. And people are pointing out to the fact that this electronic transmission of votes is in a 2022 Electoral Act that was signed by late President Muhammadu Buhari, the one that is being amended now and will be tested in the 2027 general elections. And we heard Peter Obi at this particular protest ground saying that the government should not be afraid. If you think you are popular, allow people to see as a vote. But the government is also pointing out to the fact that, yes, Nigeria is a developing country. We have infrastructural problems. We don't have the network access in all the villages. There are places that they don't have network. We have to be inclusive. Some persons could hack. The government has also had some side of the story, but the protests seem to have been. You continue because Peter Obi says, yes, we've protested today. There's an emergency meeting tomorrow of the Senate, and whatever outcome that emergency meeting gives is what will mandate the next level of protest that we go on with. So whatever outcome the emergency meeting, which the Senate is going to be holding tomorrow, gives is what will mandate the next phase of our action. That's what the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general elections, Peter Obi, said. But we'll have joining us Honorable Oloyede Abiodun, who is a PDP member and a politician, all right, who's joined us tonight to as we have this discussion, and we'll also look at some of the things he plans to do as a politician that he's going to be doing different. Thank you so much, Honorable Abiodun, for still staying with us.
Much. Yeah. My constituency is Ifako Ijayi, local government of Lagos State, and my interest is coming to the Federal House of Representatives to make the law work for this country. If our institutions start functioning the way they should function, then we will have less problem to develop this nation. The institutions need to be strengthened. They need to be empowered for us to get a better Nigeria. I grew up saying or believing that there is no alternative to Nigeria, that Nigeria is the only thing that we have as citizens, and we need to protect it, defend it to the best of our capacity. But growing up, we realized that a lot of things are changing. And the good old days, there is a way we can still bring ourselves back. Nigeria has never been divided like what we have these days now. Now we have ethnic nationalities claiming to belong to their ethnic groups rather than Nigeria. So if I'm given the opportunity to serve, my focus is going to be how to unify this nation and make it a better place for all of us to live by proposing bills that will give equal opportunities for all. And also, I'm going to focus on electoral system, because if our electoral system is good, if it is sound, and the implementation is okay, then the government will be accountable. Because that is the major thing. When people vote for, when you know that if you did not do the biddings of the people, you know that you can be voted out. But when the electoral system is not okay, is not sound, people find their way. Mediocres rules the nation because they find their ways either through rigging and other things. So they will not be accountable to the people. And you know, there are a lot of changes that is going on in Nigeria now that, of course, should have happened long ago. But because there is no interest of this nation at heart of many people that are governing us. Because why would anybody kick against the tax bills? But on the other side, let's look at the sincerity of our government. Are the government sincere with this tax act and other things? These are some of the works that we need to revisit. We need to look at it. Why are we getting conflicting information on the tax act? Why are some people saying that this is not what we passed and what was signed is different? Why do we find it difficult to make corrections in our legislations? The simple reason is because some people are benefiting from it. And when we make deterrents, when we put the proper punishment in place for such act through the legal system, through our act of parliament, I think people will be serious about the governance. people will be serious about governance. And another area that I want to focus
Just a
on.
minute. Just a minute, Honorable. I'd like to ask, what we saw today, we saw a lot of opposition figures seem to be in tune with the fact that this electronic transmission should hold. And some persons are questioning their motive. Some persons have said it seems the opposition wants to engage in rigging. I've even gone online. I've seen some articles being written saying that the opposition may be planning of rigging the elections. What do you think about that? Do you think those who are not in support with what the leadership of the Senate may be thinking, maybe they have sinister motive, or because they are just opposition, they have to beat up the polity at this time to see how they can draw attention from the masses to themselves?
That is laughable. Why would a government, why would people in government be accusing people that are not in government of rigging? What opportunity do they have to rig? The government apparatus is in the hands of the reigning government. The same thing. Why are they afraid of electronic transmission? If they are sure of themselves, if they are sure that they are popular, electronic transmission is supposed to be an improvement on what we have. So why are they afraid of electronic transmission if they are sure they are popular? They have, Nigeria is almost a one-party state, having 30 state governors on one side against the rest, and they are still afraid. Look, it is laughable for a sitting government to say that the opposition want to rig election. If they are sure of themselves, let us have electronic transmission. Let us reform our electoral system. Let there be proper punishment for those who are rigging elections. Let us have a good judicial system, an independent judicial system that will be just in the delivery of judgment, electoral-related judgment. Then let's leave other things. If anybody want to rig, is it the people that have the government apparatus in their possession that chose the chief security officer of the country that want to rig, or those that have the people on their side?
I understand your argument that the masses, but they also point to some similarities. Let's look at some of these statistics.
So that's laughable.
Elections. For instance, somebody like Peter Obi, in places like Anambra, Enugu, and the rest of some southeastern states, he scored over 95% of all votes casted. And some persons have said the APC, for instance, is very strong on ground in places like Imo, Anambra, and there was no way somebody would have scored 99, 98%, 97%, that there seemed to have been some compromise. Do you accept with that fact that a particular candidate can be so popular to have 97, 98% of a vote casted in a particular area?
Well, that was not IREF. Did they transmit physically in all these places that you are talking about? I'm saying that these people, why would anybody, the governor of the state elected is an APC person. So they did not say it was rigged when he won the election. Why is it that when Peter Obi won, they are now saying it was, something went wrong? It's because there is strong voters orientation in the southeast. We know that in the southeast they always deliver bulk vote there. That's their system of voting. So saying that they have 97, 98, it's not a good reason. So because they have 97, 98%, now if they actually had those votes, it should not be declared. And in those places, they still have a governor. and they are complaining that they had 97, 98%. Labour Party did not clear the South-East. It is the obese influence that made them have those kind of votes over there. So I disagree with those people that are saying that.
Right, absolutely. I'd like to ask about voter apathy. We are seeing it constantly if you look at the statistics from 2011 elections, we've been having reduction in the total votes casted as a people, even though our population is growing. In 2015, we could talk about population being over 200 million. And now we are looking, some statistics are saying 260, 250. But even the last election we had in Anambra, yes, there was some slight improvement, about only 15% of those who registered were able to vote. So let's talk about voter apathy. If the Senate is not able to pass this mandatory electronic transmission of votes, do you think it will affect the number of people that may want to come out to vote in the 2027 general elections?
Definitely, because people will think that they have decided what they want to do before they go to the booth, to the polling booth. Definitely, electronic transmission will give a better confidence of the people, of the voters, and they want to participate better. Rejecting this electronic transmission of results outrightly, it's a rape on Nigerian democracy, and it should not be allowed. I think the Senate and the House of Reps should listen to people, because when people vote and they know that their vote is going to count, they will come out to vote. But when they are not sure that their vote will count, there will be voters' apathy. There's going to be voter apathy. So that's the major point there, that people need to have confidence in our electoral system before they come out to cast their votes. A lot of people see it as a waste of time, because they know they feel that some of the political elite have decided on what they want to do before they go to vote, the booth. But
hello, Honorable Abiodun.
we also improve. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead if you can hear me.
Yeah. So, improvement in our electoral law is going to reduce voters' apathy, and it's going to help us to get a better result. So, some people, they don't want to come. In fact, I think we need to even move a step further through our NIN. We should start thinking of developing a technology where people can vote from their houses, because that will also reduce voters' apathy. It's going to make it convenient for people to vote. And when like Lagos State, where we have the activities of area boys,
early voting, like we see in the US, where people are on essential duties, exactly, have the privilege of voting maybe some weeks before the actual elections. And you're just saying, and what you are saying now, proposing, is that Nigeria can go a step further, that on election day, people could stay home and still be able to cast their votes. You think that can help motivate and maybe even give us 50% of those who've registered? Because one of my friends was saying that it seems most persons who get voter card these days, they just get it as a means of identification and not because they are ready to cast any votes.
And some of the reasons why many of them don't come out to vote is because of security challenges and their belief. Some of them believe that the political group, they have decided on what they want to do before the election. So, and this is one of what we are talking about, that if they can throw out electronic voting system like that undemocratically, then there is going to be more of voters apathy. There's going to be more of voters apathy because they feel that, oh, these people have decided what they want to do before we even start voting. So I think the Nigerian citizen should stand up to this, and we will make sure the right thing is done in the Senate and the House of Assembly. I believe we have responsible people there that are standing on the right of the people, and we, from our hand too, we are going to make sure the right thing is done.
And you are not just a stakeholder in a PDP in another state, you are in Lagos. And we all know Lagos is APC, has been Bola Tinubu influence dominated politically over the years. What confidence do you have that you are standing with the PDP, you are still putting out yourself in elections and contesting in knowing the kind of political terrain that surrounds the Southwest? Seems it is being captured by the APC. What chance does an opposition party stand in the Southwest?
Yeah, the Southwest does not belong to the APC. We still have Oyo State, and I strongly believe that we can do better if there is a free and fair election. PDP has once won a lot of House of Assembly, House of Rep in Lagos in the past. We have won Ogun State in the past. We have won Oyo State in the past. We have won Ondo State in the past. We have won Osun State in the past, and so many other states, Ekiti, and so it's not something that is undoable. It is doable. We can win, and I still believe that PDP is the only opposition party that is in Nigeria as at today, and that is the reason why they are focused on destroying the party. We are hell-bent and we are resolute that we are going to wrestle the people that want to destroy one of the legacies, one of the political legacies of Nigeria, which is the People's Democratic Party, the largest political party in Africa, and we are going to hold it, and we are going to make sure that we bring it back to the limelight. Talking about APC being the dominant force in Lagos, yeah, they are dominant force in Lagos, but I believe that if a free and fair election is conducted in Lagos, you will see that they are not actually what you think they are. In the last election, Peter Obi won the presidential election in Lagos. Are you aware of that? And you notice that there are some House of Rep that were won and by the opposition party, the other political party. So these are some of the things that makes us know that there is nobody that have the prerogative or the monopoly of Lagos. Lagos belongs to all of us.
Lagos belongs to all of you, like you say. But I know people have said we should stop saying Lagos is a no man's land. It's actually a land of the people, and we have Lagosians. But let me ask now, in your interaction with the people, in your process, what are the people saying? Because the politics in Nigeria seem to be dominated with money. Even your party, the PDP, the 2023 general elections, we saw them selling presidential forms for onward of 80 million, while the APC did for 100 million. So for somebody who's a politician and who's interested in politics and helping your people, serving your people in whatever position, when you communicate with the people, are they asking you for money? Is that something that comes up? And even the forms, getting the forms, I know it may not come that cheap.
Yeah, I am a grassroots person. Up there. So even when I'm contesting, sometimes a lot of people immensely towards my election, and those are some of the people that believes so much in me. And aside that, the the vote buying issue. It's a vital problem. Sometimes when you go campaigning, definitely you will see a couple of them that want to come and talk to you. That what did you bring for us? It's a societal problem, but we have been trying to make them understand that that is not what we need at this stage of our democracy. What we need is we want improvement that could guarantee the future of our children and those generations yet unborn. And we are not ready to sell it for peanuts. So we've been trying to orientate. We have been trying to do orientation for our people to know that there is no amount of money I can give to you that will be better than your future.
We've seen even politicians who are elected on platforms, like we saw the Labour Party in 2023, even the PDP, as of July of last year, your party, the PDP, still had up to 8 governors. But now they have a paltry 3 governors, and we've seen a lot of them defect. Do you think that is something that you'll be different about, even when you are a PDP member? Tomorrow I could just come online and see that Honorable Oluyode Abiodun, my friend, has moved from the PDP. Are you moving from the PDP to the APC?
By now, you should have known if I'm a kind of person that could be bought, because the present state of PDP, anybody that still remains with PDP now, you should know that those are the real nationalists, the people that do not look at any other motivation. We are interested in bringing Nigeria to a better level. We know how these people took over Nigeria, and we know the situation we find ourselves today. The PDP regime, in the days of the PDP, we know how much they are selling a dollar, and we know how much they are selling now. And so many, definitely, if I could remain in PDP as at today, it means that even when I become, if I become a member of the House of Assembly or House of Rep, or Senate, I will not defect. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? If I cannot defect, PDP is in disarray. So what's going to push me out of PDP now? We have programs, we have policies. PDP is the strongest political party in Nigeria to the grassroots. It's not a one-man show. PDP is a political party. Good ideology. So why would I leave PDP and go to another political party that is not sure of what they are doing? So, my brother, I don't see myself changing political parties like clothes that you wear and change on daily basis.
The conversation, I'd like to ask the issues with your party, the PDP. Do you see any headway? Do you think at the national level, I know at the state, the Lagos State PDP, you do not have problems, even though Honorable Jandor has left your party, and we know he was a very prominent politician, and he's gone to the APC now. Do you see the issues at the national level being resolved anytime soon?
The issue of PDP at national level is a legal issue. It is either the parties involved come together, they said they are not going to court again, we can resolve in-house, or the Supreme Court will affirm their judgment as said in the past issues of political parties should be resolved internally, not through legal means. So one of them will happen very soon. But I believe so much in the competence of our national chairman, Turaki. He's doing a good job and is a godsend for the party now. And we believe he's going to move the party to the desired height level.
Even in Lagos State, there's still room for elections to be free and fair.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why electronic transmission need to be implemented. Proper punishment need to be melted to political hooliganism and thugs, and there should be improvement in the protection of opposition in the state, because we are expecting improvement in the electoral system, and the only way it could be done is through Electoral Act.
Tonight, as we wish you all of the best in your endeavors, and wish your party, the People's Democratic Party. You said it is the biggest political party, but the APC disputes that. The APC calls itself the biggest political party, but I'll allow you guys to argue that out. Thank you so much for coming on the program tonight. We wish you and your party all of the best as in whatever aspirations you have.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, good to meet you. Thank you very much. Bye.
All right, people, that's the size of our program. But before we go, let's just remind you that tonight on the program, we looked at electoral reforms, and we spoke to a politician in Lagos State, Honorable Oluyede Abiodun, about this question: is Nigeria actually ready for the electronic transmission of voting results? Are we ready for it? We have it in the 2022 Electoral Act, as was amended and signed into law by former late President Muhammadu Buhari. But some Nigerians are questioning, and there are a lot of questions from the both sides. The Senate that passed the bill said that Nigeria do not have network in all places, and it may affect some states that there's not enough network coverage to be able to transmit the results. And they've also raised possibility of hackers. Have we not seen that even the US, Donald Trump, was alleging that Russia hacked into their system during the elections he lost to Joe Biden? And these are concerns that they raised. But Nigerians are activists came down to Abuja today to the National Assembly, where they protested. We saw opposition leaders like Peter Obi. He was there, leading the protest. We saw people like Aisha Yusufu. We saw a lot of other Nigerians, young persons, saying we need electronic transmission of voting, real-time transmission of voting. We want to be able to see those we voted for, what the results are counting, for us to be able to trust the process. And we've mentioned the fact that it seems that we've had some level of voter apathy over time. Could this be a game changer and change this voter apathy? But we do not know. Whatever the Senate will decide into the days that come in the future. But what we know now is that as it is now, electronic transmission of voting is not in our Electoral Act as a mandatory step. Yes, INEC could do it, but it is not mandatory. But if anything changes, trust us on the program. We'll actually bring you up to date. My name is Ubong Osoro in Abuja, saying continue to love this country and do your best for this country. Bye for now.